Celebrity and Democratic activist Alyssa Milano had this insanely ignorant message to share yesterday after last night's primary election. You know what sucks? Because of our unwillingness to pass policy that protects our election integrity, I immediately think the Green Party votes tonight are Russian meddling. Why else would anyone cast a protest vote in Ohio when there's so much at stake? Hashtag OH12. So let's follow this logic. Anybody that votes Green Party, I think is Russian meddling. Sounds exactly like the establishment media, celebrities, and politicians' intolerance to the fact that millions of people don't like them either for the progressive Bernie Sanders left or the President Donald Trump movement. They have this repulsive energy that anybody who thinks how they don't want them to think must be working for Russia. It's pretty pathetic as an adult that you don't think somebody should be allowed to vote for the Green Party or for the Republican Party without you thinking that it's Russian meddling? When has this witch hunt gone too far? It's especially strange since this week we found out Dianne Feinstein has been working side by side with a Chinese spy for the last 20 years. Of course, the media barely talked about that story, just like they barely talked about when China hacked us multiple times and even stole our military information, because that doesn't fit the fanatical, non-existent, hallucinogenic narrative that celebrities like Alyssa Milano are frothing at the mouth to repeat, even though they're not true. Anybody who disagrees with us must be Russian. CNN had a bizarrely misleading hit piece saying that the walkaway movement, created by gay liberal hairdresser in New York City, an American citizen, was somehow the elaborate creation of Russian bots, even though there's now thousands of video testimonials of American citizens who have felt this way for decades, years, months.
I understood and realized that the Democrats was not the type of party that I need to be affiliated with, was when they went against everything that I was raised upon. I have lived in the projects. I have been on every entitlement program probably out there. I was heavily in the Democratic Party and helping out Democrats. If you love this nation and you love the Pledge of Allegiance, you already know the Democrats is not where you want to go. If you're tired of overbearing regulations, then you ought to know the Democrats isn't the way you need to go. If you want more money in your paycheck, the Democratic Party is not the way you want to go. If you want to save our nation, the Democratic Party is not the way to go. Hashtag walk away. Matter of fact, it's coming to a point that it's time to say hashtag run away.
It's just a further validation that the public school system is failed. The fact that the government controls the indoctrination, they control the curriculum, therefore they control the narrative. You know, it makes you wonder, what are kids learning today that we're going to see down the road is a lie? They're going to wake up and realize, wow, I was duped. They told me Donald Trump was a fascist. They told me Barack Obama was one of the greatest presidents in history. Kids could very well be learning that right now. I don't have kids right now, but when I do, you best believe I'll either be homeschooling them or sending them to private school or charter school, something else. They're not going to public school just because it's such a fallacy that, you know, you can teach someone whatever you want them to learn and the parents have no say-so in it. You know, the curriculum is all messed up. So anyway, I don't want to get off on a tangent. I want to talk about how the Democrat and Republican Party never switched.
When it was just this relentless attack on Trump supporters, calling them racists, everything. Racist, xenophobic, transphobic, bigots, pretty much calling them stupid. When I looked at thousands and thousands of hours of just different Trump supporters and saying why they specifically decided to vote for him, because all of them have their different reasons. And they were such nice people. They were smart. They were kind. They were loving. They were extremely well informed. And they were actually making arguments. They weren't just name calling. Because, you know, newsflash to a lot of people, name calling is not an argument. Calling somebody racist and bigots, it's not an argument. It makes me sad that clearly college is failing us, because I have my doctorate. So I'm a college-educated person, and I'm embarrassed to be right now, because for some reason a lot of college-educated people think name-calling is some sort of argument.
But the media and celebrities like Alyssa Milano don't want you to think that way. When Americans like Candace Owens and Diamond and Silk don't think the way that white liberals and the media and celebrities want them to think, all of a sudden they don't care about women or black people anymore. They treat them horribly. Tech companies insinuate that they're unsafe and a danger to their community. A similar message I got on my Instagram when some people tried to follow me. Now I'm not safe for the community? Candace Owens' Black and Latino police officers are called white supremacists by white, left-leaning people? At what point does this delusional witch hunt end? If you vote Green Party, it doesn't mean you're a Russian, Alyssa Milano. If you vote for Donald Trump, it doesn't mean you're a Russian, mainstream media. Glenn Greenwald, gay liberal, must be Russian because he doesn't agree with us. Left-leaning Green Party liberals must be Russian. Gay liberal who doesn't like liberals anymore because they act like this must be Russian. Anomaly, Russian.
Encouraging people to take a look at what's going on in the Democratic Party, take a look at what's going on in the left, and to walk away from all the divisiveness, the hateful rhetoric, the vitriol, and walk away from it. You know, find civility somewhere in the center or over on the right.
Alex Jones, Russian. InfoWars, Russian. Conveniently now, InfoWars has been banned from all social media platforms. He's been talking about for decades how everybody's working together. And what do? Within 24 hours, a coordinated attack to purge his information from the internet. I guess accusing him of being Russian last year didn't work. Let's just delete his videos from the internet. Why not? So overall, I don't care if you don't like Trump, Alyssa Milano and others. I don't care if you love Trump. I don't care if you love the Green Party or Bernie Sanders. Let's have a conversation and a dialogue to actually try to figure out why, instead of closing our eyes and screaming Russia, 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 just because people don't see eye to eye with us. You really don't think that there's another way that somebody could have wanted to vote Green Party? You really don't think that everybody has to agree with you and can't possibly vote for the Republican candidate? Oh my God, they must be Russia. It's hard to think that this isn't becoming a literal mental illness. And I don't say that with joy or pleasure or sarcastically. I mean it. I think a lot of people are becoming mentally ill, frothing at the mouth over politics and fake news. Alyssa Milano even admitted that she was mentally ill on The View.
Where you open up about you have an anxiety disorder.
Yes,
and you talk about
I have a mental illness, and I am going to say it just like that because I feel like there is such a stigma around mental illness. And I want people to know that if you have anxiety, depression, whatever your mental illness may be, you are not alone. And it just makes me feel better to know that I'm not alone.
Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not making fun of her. I think people with a mental illness should definitely seek help. A lot of people should seek help. They should talk to people, talk to a professional, talk to a therapist, talk to a friend, talk to a family member. Please talk to somebody. But if you are literally mentally ill, not only in your personal life, but then to try to lead some sort of political activist rally to tell your followers that anybody who votes Green Party must be Russian, you can't possibly think of another way that somebody doesn't want to vote for your candidate. Kind of like how Donald Trump won the election and 99% of Huffington Post polls were wrong. There's no way Trump can win, but he still won. It's because you're not facing reality. It's okay that you don't understand me. It's okay that you don't understand Green Party voters and Trump supporters, but to make no effort to close your eyes, to foam at the mouth and say that anybody who does something other than what you want them to do is Russian or Russian meddling because you think so, sounds like the dozens of failed, retracted, and straight up misleading articles from the mainstream media trying to push this grandiose illusion that has very little truth. Meanwhile, politicians that they support continuously are getting exposed by their own media sources for foreign collusion and working with literal foreign spies. The bias, hypocrisy, and double standard is bubbling far past the point of dangerous. We've passed that threshold. So all I ask is to show a little more love, have a conversation, really try to find out who American citizens are. Talk to real immigrants. Don't just act like the white liberal who controls all immigrants because you think they think the way you think, because there's millions of immigrants who don't agree with you. And when you continuously try to metaphorically crack the whip at people who don't agree with you, especially women and black people and Latinos, insinuating that they're Russian, racist, sexist, xenophobic, or terrible people because they like low taxes, less regulation, a blunt, raw leader as opposed to a politically correct, candy-coated liar, or maybe they just like the Green Party, they like environmentalism, they like Jill Stein because she's a little looser and has better foreign policy in their opinion. Who knows? But to call everybody Russian ban people from social media, and try to destroy somebody's image, personality, business, and life over a grandiose claim that you can't even back up has gone past the point of acceptable. Let's change that before America turns into a 1984-style totalitarian police tech state where if you disagree with Silicon Valley or social media or the celebrity elite class, not only do they not consider you American, but they're chomping at the bits for the opportunity to delete you from television, to delete you from media, to delete you from social media, and to make sure that your perspective never gets heard. That's the opposite of free speech, and that's what I'm here to defend. Thank you for listening. Have a great week.